Welcome to Whiskey and Whiskers podcast. This is episode 2 version.
Fuck you, man. God.
We're your host, Chop.
Gator.
Blake.
And this week we're also joined by Brucker from Films on the Rocks. My bad.
Oh, it's all right. All right. Thanks you guys for having me. Yeah, I'm me and my buddy Levi co-host a movie podcast called Film on the Rocks, and we just like to. Our motto is that movies are fun, so we just like to talk about movies through various segments like drinking rules, quotes, favorite scenes, and we always debate whether or not they deserve sequels. And it's just a fun way to talk about movies, and we don't go by we don't break down the movie beat by beat. We just kind of talk about what we think are like the highlights and what we found really fun about them. But thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh yeah, man.
Sure.
Welcome.
Don't thank us yet.
Yeah.
So let's see what's in the box.
Woo. Oh.
Today we are drinking Smooth Ambler Old Scout American Whiskey. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
Looks like a wine bottle. They went cheap on it.
Since we're social distancing, I'm drinking Pendleton today, which I'm damn sure going to get you guys to drink on the show at some point. But until then, I'm going to enjoy it my damn self.
Brucker, are you drinking? Are you drinking something over there?
Oh yeah, I have a couple things over here. I just got done with my beer, which is I had a Moosehead lager. I don't know if y'all have had that, but it's like a really nice like Canadian lager.
Ooh.
And then now I've swapped over to whiskey. I'm drinking a small batch 1792, which is a nice Kentucky bourbon.
Nice.
All right, here, hang on. I'm going to pop this bottle. You ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh,
that was good.
That was a good one.
All right, so Brucker, we have a couple things that we like to just debate on the show. We call them fighting words. So I figured since you hadn't gotten a chance to answer any of them, we'd pop a couple at you and see what you come up with.
Right.
So I'm going to come out right out the gate swinging hard and give you the one that's probably the most controversial. If you had to give up white bread or flour tortillas, which one are you giving up?
We're talking sliced white bread, like American, Iron Kids bread or buttercrust, like just your basic bitch sliced white bread, or flour tortillas. Yeah,
I think I'm going to have to lean towards the bread. I like Mexican food way too much, and it's too much of a pain to go over like corn tortilla.
Not cool, man.
Hell yeah.
We're in the right team. See, there is hope for humanity.
Not cool.
There's so many other like sandwich breads that are much better than the white bread.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
What? Now you can't have your bologna sandwich,
Or your barbecue sandwich.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! I'll eat that shit on a tortilla. You
That's
kidding me?
fucking lame.
All right, we've done
bro.
this before. What's another fighting word, Shop?
Chevy or Ford?
Oh, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Chevy or Ford? I had such high hopes for him.
I'm going Chevy just because my girlfriend has a Ford, and we've had a lot of problems with it. So.
Not laughing at you, but I'm laughing at Blake because
It's probably not the car. It's probably your girlfriend.
Blake sucks.
All right.
Let's see.
You've got a silverback gorilla or a Kodiak grizzly bear.
Oh, I got to go gorilla. It's basically just an IRL Chewbacca. I mean, it's
No, because Chewbacca's 12 feet tall, much like a Kodiak grizzly bear. That's what I noticed with Pretty Little Girl Scout.
That's a good point. I don't. Okay, now I'm back on the fence.
See? Yeah, so Kodiak grizzly bear is like 12 feet tall and 1,200 pounds, whereas a gorilla is like 4 feet tall and 600 pounds.
No, it's 8 foot tall and like 800 pounds.
No.
What's the venue? Are we
see that
that's
doesn't
important.
matter.
They both live in like the same kind of place.
I feel like if we're near water, the bear has an advantage for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a gorilla swim.
Yeah. So
And I've definitely seen bears swim. And I've heard people be like, dude, the monkey can climb a tree. And it's like, hello, a fucking bear?
Yeah,
Bears?
exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Bears are terrifying.
And a bear could push down the fucking tree.
Have you seen
Dude,
Blue?
1,200 pounds coming at you at 30 miles an hour. That's like getting hit by a truck. A truck with 9-inch canines and razor-sharp claws.
Yeah. That's going to eat you. It's going to maul you. It's going to rip the skin off your bones.
All right, let's take.
I'm gonna go bear
let's
because
take
I
this
think
shot.
bear consumes like more like meat protein than a gorilla, so I'm just going to go off that.
Oh yeah, gorillas are vegan. I mean, come
I
on.
know. They listen to Joe Rogan podcast and shit. I mean, like, you can't take them seriously at all. All right.
All right.
We taking our shot?
Yeah.
Cheers, dudes.
Here's.
Old Scout.
Do y'all care if I throw a fighting words situation at y'all?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. I live for this shit.
Okay, this is a who would win, who would win this fight situation.
Okay.
Let's see it.
So
Tony
one
Ferguson or
corner-
Khabib. Just kidding.
So in one corner we have the Terminator Model 101, which is just like the model that Arnold Schwarzenegger is,
Okay.
versus the Predator. Who would win that?
So my knee-jerk reaction was Terminator.
My knee-jerk reaction was Predator.
Mine too, man. He's got dreadlocks, bro. He's serious.
Yeah.
All right, there's got to be a way to put this into context, right? So, regular old Arnold can beat Predator, but mechanized Arnold is a Terminator. So, we've got a more powerful Arnold situation, and we already know Arnold can beat the Predator.
Ooh.
I also wonder if the Terminator would be able to just see the Predator, even though it's in like its cloaking. I don't know,
Like the hiding
usage?
thing or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
wonder
think
if the
that's
Terminator would still be able
neutralized.
to see him.
I don't think there's an advantage there anymore. I think they can both see each other all the time.
Yeah, it's all digital,
Yeah.
man.
But
Yeah, I
the
think this
Predator is clearly more agile.
Like limber, yeah.
And you know, the debatable aspect of my argument is a mechanized version of Arnold better than the real Arnold? He might not be.
Yeah.
Could regular old Arnold beat a Terminator Arnold?
See, here's where
That's where it boils down to.
this is where my thinking is going. So I'm immediately thinking that a T-100 is a cyborg or like a machine, right? Whereas the Predator is like a living thing that has like a living instinct. So in my head, that living instinct is going to beat whatever fucking program that's running T-100. You know what I mean?
True, but I don't know, because I feel like the T-100 would be able to take more damage than your average Joe soldier or whatever
Living
So
thing.
I
Yeah.
feel like it would be able to take a little bit more damage because of that. It would like allow for more like close quarters stuff with the Predator. That's like like we said, organic. And I also wonder if it'll be able to survive that bomb that the Predator has that it uses to to kill itself at the end.
Oh yeah, dude, that fucking laser might
This
be
has
able
been
to
keeping me
chop
up at night.
that Terminator in half. I know bullets. Terminators are impervious to bullets, but that laser cannon that he's got on his shoulders, kind of a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, see, this would be a completely different topic if we were talking about the T-1000, the liquid metal
Yeah,
model. But
that's not even
that was-
fair.
yeah,
That's like bear
it's
versus
not
gorilla.
fair.
That's not fair.
That's a good one. I'd never heard that before.
I like that a lot. I'm going to think about it.
Yeah. I think I'm leaning towards Terminator.
I want to lean towards Terminator a lot.
See, my knee-jerk reaction was Terminator, and I think I'm leaning more towards Predator now that we talked about it.
I'm still a
So
Predator.
you're guessing yourself?
Predator's got this. I'm thinking of it like a fight. You know what I mean? Who's got the bigger fight in them? You know what I mean?
Predator does have
Tyson
an advantage
Fury
because
or Deontay Wilder? You know, like who had the bigger fight? Deontay Wilder on paper is T-100. He looked like the bigger, badder guy. You know what I mean? But Tyson Fury brought that spirit, that fight. That's the same thing a Predator's going to do.
All right, fair. So who would win in a fight, Predator or Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury. For sure. He's as tall and as fucking badass. And he doesn't have dreadlocks. He's fucking bald. So fuck with that.
I don't know. Either way, running into any of those three is probably going to lead to a bad day.
Yeah, you're not going to have a good time.
So, yeah, I don't know. That'd be a shitty way to start your morning.
Speaking of shitty ways to
Any
start your
time of
morning,
day.
I've got a thing. I've got a cocksucker of the week. So I was going to buy breakfast for the guys at work, and there's a Whataburger right down the street. Brucker, are you familiar with Whataburger?
Yes.
It's very important here in Texas. So I'm driving to Whataburger to get some taquitos and breakfast bobs, and we're talking We're talking like rush hour. Like people. It's like 8:30. You know,
shit.
It's packed, and it's on 620, so it's just gnarly. And this fucking asshole, I guess I don't know how he did it because it's a straight strip of road right there. Somehow he took his car off the road, ramped to the Whataburger parking lot, and crashed into the median, blocking Whataburger for all the breakfast commuters.
That asshole, man.
Completely by himself. All by himself. Like, no, there was no other cars involved. He could have picked... If you're going to crash your car, don't crash it in front of Whataburger. And if you're going to crash it in front of Whataburger, at least not during rush hour. Come on.
I remember my first time driving. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I have to put this out there because we have a very clear understanding that there is a difference between a cocksucker and a motherfucker, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't help but feel this guy might just be a motherfucker.
All right.
Could someone explain to me the difference between
defend him,
a
Chop.
cocksucker and a
Well,
motherfucker?
let's break it down so our guest understands how we're evaluating this fucker.
Basically, you have assholes, right? There's
Yes,
people that are just
I'm familiar.
assholes. And both, like, there's assholes that are, and there's two kinds that are predominantly considered assholes. There's cocksuckers and there's motherfuckers. Now, motherfuckers just kind of are blindly fumbling about fucking shit up and don't realize that they're fucking shit up. Cocksuckers are intentionally fucking shit up and being dicks to other people.
With like on purpose. With
Intent.
Intent. Yeah.
The intent is the separation there.
The
Haphazard
intent is
versus
the
intent.
cocksuckers.
So think like if you're walking through the grocery store and someone's just standing in the way, you might be like, "Oh, dumb motherfucker." You know, like they're not necessarily bad. They're just like, look at this
Someone
motherfucker.
that's oblivious to to what they're doing.
But then you got the guy that like
Sneezes on all the produce.
or licks all the fucking packages.
Ice cream. Fucking opens the ice cream and licks it. Fuck that guy.
Well,
Gotcha. Okay.
but and so on the surface, this looks like a motherfucker type situation. This dumb motherfucker crashed his car for no reason.
It does.
But I would argue that, but this is Whataburger, and now I couldn't have Whataburger for breakfast.
So
Clearly, he didn't think about that.
does that raise the bar? Does that promote him from fucking...
I think we need.
But because he didn't think about it, that's what makes him a motherfucker.
He's a what a motherfucker. Yeah.
We need a
No,
Whataburger.
this is the Walmart or not Walmart. The Whataburger analogy is almost to like a school zone analogy, right? If you speed through a school zone, so you're speeding, you're a fucking motherfucker, right? But you do it through a school zone, you're a motherfucking cocksucker at that point.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with this dude crashing in front of Whataburger. There's a zone, and you go in that zone, it's like a work zone. Men at work, do not speed. You're a motherfucking cocksucker if you do.
Yeah, I think
this
we need
guy's a cocksucker.
I think we need some caveats to the cocksucker description. Cause
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. So like his cocksuckerness is that he decided to fuck off and text or whatever he was doing, tying his shoes or some shit while he was in front of Whataburger instead of doing it on like a respectable area like a school zone or something.
Right, exactly, or a work zone, or with workers present or something like that.
Yeah, or like through a
Because I mean, you're going slow anyway. You can get out a couple texts or emails real quick, right?
Yeah, especially when there's a lot of pedestrians around. It's okay. They're watching out for you.
Okay, yeah, I'm leaning more towards he is a cocksucker
Yeah.
in this scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize. That was my fault. I wanted to come to the defense of this cocksucker. Let him be downgraded to a motherfucker, but
Your Honor, there's no evidence that my client is a cocksucker. He is just a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I didn't have all the facts. I apologize.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Also, since we're on the topic of Whataburger, dude, they have a barbecue bacon burger now. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Holy shit bombs, Batman. This is
They're
like
actually barbecue.
it's like
Barbecue sauce on fucking
barbecue
hamburger
sauce on a hamburger.
with bacon.
That's such a
With bacon.
cop out because it needs pulled pork on there for it to be a barbecue sandwich, in my opinion.
It is kind of
Barbecue
lame, dude.
burger.
It's like them saying like, "Oh, we have a Chinese burger now," and they put fucking hot and sour sauce on it or something.
That's fine. My point is, it's delicious.
It's an Italian burger. It's got fucking spaghetti sauce on it.
It's not quite like A1 thick and throbbing delicious, but it's delicious.
They have a Southwest burger too, and they put fucking pico on it. How's that?
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, that works though.
Actually,
That works.
this actually works out kind of well because I wanted to talk about like shitty ways to start your day and then awesome ways to start your day. So, like for instance, Brucker started his day really, really shitty because he had to watch Zardoz in the morning. But Blake might have started his day really, really well because he got some badass Whataburger in the morning. So like, what's the go? Like, if you're trying to start your day well, what's the go-to? And then what's the like, fuck you that stopped it?
Oh, dude.
If you wake up to a blowjob, it's going to be a good day.
Well,
Yeah.
hard to argue that. For me, it's always like I wake up like super motivated, like, oh, today, I'm going to go ahead and tackle my to-do list, and then I see I already have like a work email that I need to fix something. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just sucks the life out of you. Like, kicks you before you even get out of bed.
Oh, dude, yeah. You can't check
I
email in
immediately
bed.
just go, all right, I'm going to go back to sleep for 45 minutes. Because it doesn't matter.
Waking up in the morning. What if you wake up in the morning and, like, you don't have any clean underwear? Like, your underwear drawer is empty. And you're like, fuck,
no.
okay. And you go to the laundry room and, like, you open the dryer, the load that's supposed to be dry, and it's not dry. It's soft and wet. It's going to be a shitty day.
Well, I guess I'm showering with my boxers on today.
Definitely digging your car out of snow sucks. I don't know if you've ever dealt with that.
No.
When
What's
you're
snow?
like, you go to bed at night and you're like, oh, cool, I'm going to get up and go to work, or I got to do this shit in the morning. I go to the airport and it snows a lot. And you're like, oh, fuck, I didn't account for the 2-hour fucking shovel job I have to do in my driveway to get my car out so I can get somewhere. That shit sucks.
I haven't had to deal with that, but I can relate on the, like, in Texas, we get freezes. So, like, your fucking doors and windshield ice over. You got to sit there with a credit card because we don't freeze, like, but maybe twice a year. So you don't have a, like, ice scraper or anything.
You're like just spitting on it.
Away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Peeing
you can
on
dump
your
boiling
windshield.
water on it if you want to explode your windshield, too.
Yeah.
But then you can see out of it, so it kind of fixes the situation.
It's kind of cold, but
Right.
you just put the
It's
heater on
kinda cold.
really hot.
It's like that meme, like there's no frost to take care of, but there's no windshield,
Mhm.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. Waking up to animals puking or shitting, that sucks.
Yep. And people puking and shitting. That sucks. Because they usually do it in beds.
Like 2 days ago, I woke up to my dog vomiting, so just had to go ahead and take care of that. So that was great.
Dude, there's nothing like waking up in just a panic because, like, you hear that like a
Oh,
dog or a
God.
cat, and you're just like, fuck! And they're like, get the fuck outside right now.
Luckily, I didn't hear it. I was like in the other room making my coffee, and I just hear my girlfriend go, Brucker, I think Maddie's throwing up. I was like, oh, Jesus. So I come in, and I have to now look for it because I don't know where.
Ugh.
he
I was
did
about to
it,
say,
so-
you can one-up this, and that's, your alarm goes off, of course you sleep 2 or 3 times, right? And then finally you're like, fuck, I'm going to be late. You swing your feet out of bed and put it down, and, like, it's either cold, wet piss or poop squishes between your toes. One or the other.
Yeah.
Does that happen often?
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
you
all
know
the
what? It could only be better from there, right?
time.
You forget to get out of bed
I don't
when you
know.
shit, you just kick it out, and then you step in it.
Well, and that's a true scenario of waking up on literally the wrong side of the bed.
Mhm.
But then for the rest of the day, if you're pissed off, you have like a legit reason. People are like, man, why are you such a dick today? I stepped in dog shit at 7 a.m. Fuck
It's
off.
between my toes.
And they go, oh, okay. He's been through a lot. Everyone, back off. Back off. 6 feet.
It's still under my toenail. You want to smell it? That's gross.
How
Don't
do
think
you
about
guys-
it too much, Blake.
How do you, yeah. How do you guys feel about breakfast in the morning? Are you a, like, no breakfast guy? Are you a bowl of cereal, get out the door real quick, or are you
Dude,
like,
I'm a breakfast eating motherfucker. I want breakfast. Like, I roll out of bed and I'm like, I need food. Fuck.
Yeah, if I have
talking, like,
time,
hot,
I
right?
love to just like make some eggs and toast at least.
What was
Is it
that?
worth? It's worth getting up earlier so that you have the time to make a legit breakfast.
Yeah. Like, when I'm working and shit, honestly, I'll just, like, pick something up on the way because I don't, like to cook. But, yeah, no, for sure. Like, I'm going to eat breakfast. And if I don't eat breakfast before I get somewhere, I'm going to be like, hey, I need to eat food right now, or I'm going to be a fucking asshole all day.
Damn. I'm the exact opposite. Like, I try to prolong eating as much as possible into my day. Like, I might just go till dinner. I don't like eating it. I don't have, like, an appetite in the morning. It's not there.
See,
So
I
I
think-
usually, like, at 2 or 5, and
If I'm gonna
done.
skip, it's breakfast. I'll drink a
Yeah.
cup of coffee and
Mhm.
I'm good to go.
But
But
I'll skip lunch or I'll skip dinner or whatever. Honestly, I kind of got into unintentionally doing what is it called, like periodic fasting or
intermittent
what's it
fasting.
called?
Intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting. Yeah. I kind of unintentionally started doing that since we're all fucking sitting at home. But like, we eat dinner usually around like 6 or 7 o'clock, and then I usually stay up till like 4. So I wake up at
Damn.
like noon and then eat then. But then I'm eating all of my meals in like a 6-hour period. I didn't do that on purpose, but it's just kind of the way it worked out.
There's a lot of health benefits to intermittent fasting. I'm a grad student and I do research on Parkinson's disease, and the guy that kind of discovered that intermittent fasting was beneficial gave a lecture at my university, and so I actually got lunch with him, and it's actually crazy all like the stuff that they've shown in their models, like in their mouse model, it's shown that it obviously prevented like obesity, but also it prevented like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, because it's the way that it's the energy source that your body switches to. It starts to the fat that you have, and it produces these different types of molecules, and it kind of like just like primes your body to like better deal with cellular waste. So yeah, there's actually like a lot of really good health benefits for it.
Yeah, the way I understood it was like it kind of gives your whole digestive tract a break. You know, like you can let it be empty for a while and let it chill. If you're constantly eating, it's like constantly having to digest and process food, and it never has a chance just to relax. You know,
I think I probably unfairly judge the concept too hard because I heard Joe Rogan advocate for it. And everything that Joe Rogan says is like, okay, first we're going to talk about intermittent fasting, and then next we have to eat only elk meat and drink rhino blood because it makes your dick hard or something.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. It's going to boost your T levels if you only eat raw red meat.
Oh, I've been doing it since the 70s, bro.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, shit.
Well, the point that they make about intermittent fasting, which makes sense from like an evolutionary standpoint, that like humans, we aren't designed to like eat 3 meals a day.
Right.
Like, you know, if you think about creatures in the wild, you know, they're having to fight for their meals every day, and that's how humans, you know, evolved too. So our bodies aren't made to be just consuming like carbohydrates and everything constantly. So having that intermittent fasting is more like what our ancient ancestors did, and it's
I think
crazy all the
carbohydrate
health benefits.
the cutting out carbs would be way more, I feel like, beneficial than intermittent fasting to me, because there's really no argument. Like, dude, people, I don't know. Sugar, like way too much sugar, too much like flour and fucking like that's shit's bad for you. It's not good. I'm gonna drink some of my beer right now.
Well, there's this theory. So I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot of science. Y'all could just tell me to shut up.
No, that's cool, man.
There's this like theory.
We might accidentally teach one of our listeners something.
I don't know if it's anyways, there's like this whole like concept of like hormesis, or that I'm pretty sure everybody's heard this phrase. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from like a scientific standpoint, that's actually like really true. You having like a 16-hour gap in between meals stresses out your body a little bit, and a little bit of stress has been shown to prime your body better to deal with future stressors. So, for example, because I work in a neuroscience lab, like giving like our models, like we study C. elegans, which are like microscopic worms. Anyways, so giving them like little bouts of like little stressors allows them to handle bigger stressors later on that would otherwise just obliterate their neurons. And that's kind of like a small part of this idea of intermittent fasting, is that your body is stressed out because it's, I don't want to say starving, but it's switching to an alternative energy source that it breaks down your fat, and it builds up all these ketones, and your body like processes them differently, and kind of just primes your body to deal with future stressors later. So things that cause Alzheimer's disease, like these aggregate proteins, your body's able to break them down and clear them out better, thus preventing Alzheimer's.
Yeah, so but that's kind of like that explanation
idea.
Is never going to get people to intermittent fast. What you need to tell them is, look, intermittent fasting not only will make your dick bigger, it's going to make you nut a lot more, like just gallons.
Will make you so rich.
Seminal fluid.
Every girl's going to want you.
The no fap.
Stars. You'll get a promotion at your job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you want to be an alpha or do you want to be a beta cuck motherfucker?
Did you hear about the stimulus check for people who intermittent fast?
I don't see that. All right,
twice the payout.
I'm gonna pour up some whiskey.
All right.
All right.
Dude, I can't tell you how fucking stoked I am on this Pendleton. Like, that's my shit right now. We need to drink it on the show.
This stuff's pretty good.
What,
the magic box is gonna have
that?
Oh shit, Pendleton. So it's there.
All right. Oh, Canadian whiskey. All right.
Yeah, it's that It's that Canadian shit that it's no, dude, it's super good.
Do we want to? You think we want to break it down this time? We're about,
I don't know. You tell me.
We're about halfway.
Oh, I got to reach now.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Gentlemen. All right.
God damn, that's good whiskey.
Sweetness? Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm not
Isn't that the best feeling? Is it?
I'm not having as good a time as Chop is, I think. It's not bad, but it's not good. And here, Chop, you'll know why in just a second. Sweetness? I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Yeah, it's got some sweet. I couldn't tell if it was my chaser, if it was that, and it's definitely sweet. I've got that sweet aftertaste.
Crunch?
Like a 2, maybe?
Yeah, maybe a little bit on the very beginning. I'm gonna call it a 2.
So before we get all the way through, I was just gonna let Brucker know that basically our metrics are not the typical like, oh, it's got hints of vanilla and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much go with, we're taking shots of it. What's the shot feel like? That's kind of the gist.
More of an experience than a taste.
And yeah, it's shots. Let's go. This isn't a hold your pinky out and drink a.
Smell it and sniff it, and
That's not what we're about. We're trying
spit it out.
We're trying to connect with the people, and it's like, look, people don't want to like sip a glass of whiskey for an hour. Like we're here to get drunk. Let's do it. Shots. Let's go. All right. Bite.
Man, that's awesome.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 again.
On
Yeah.
bite? Really? With that sweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, a lot of sweetness, a lot of bite. Bottle, I don't know. I'm not that impressed with the bottle. It's shaped like a wine bottle.
Now that I taste it, it looks more like a sweet thing that goes in a bottle like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can associate that more.
So since we're on Zoom, go ahead and show me the bottle. Yeah, that's not super impressive.
It looks like a wine bottle.
I mean,
I honestly would not catch my eye if I were walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
Which, nothing against them or anything, but
Yeah, here I'm gonna see if there's anything to read. Holy shit.
that's
God
impressive,
damn it.
man. You would be looking for whiskey while you were walking down the aisle?
walking down the aisle of the liquor store, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's where I'm gonna have my wedding too.
I mean, there's gonna be whiskey in my wedding,
There was whiskey in my pocket when I was walking down the aisle.
Yeah, I was
All
gonna
right,
say, either in my pocket or at the bar or in my bloodstream already.
Old Scout American Whiskey is a union of 2 whiskeys distilled from classic bourbon mash bills.
And sugar.
One is aged in new oak barrels and the other matures in rejuvenated, re-charred bourbon casks. While this unique aging excuses the marriage from being labeled as a bourbon, it shares all of the character and drinkability you would expect from a whiskey on the brink of being one. Like the other Old Scout whiskeys, it's blended in limited, hand-selected batches and without chill filtration.
So they bitched out and didn't make bourbon because that was too much for them.
Yeah, and that was a little bit long-winded. They had to put this huge description about, well, it's kind of like bourbon, guys. What you're saying is it's a mix.
It's bourbon adjacent.
So yeah, bottle, dude. I'm gonna give it a 2.
2 or a 1.
Yeah, I almost want to give it a
probably
1.5.
Yeah.
What are some?
Well, I'm gonna give it a 2 because that pop was legit.
And it fits what it is, too. I mean, it's not lying. Once you taste it, you're like, that's not a 9 in the bottle.
Okay, I think they're gonna pick up some points here. Drunkenness.
It'll work. What's the proof on it?
Yeah. So this is 99 proof.
Oh, no shit.
49.5% alcohol by volume.
So it's like bourbon schnapps or something.
Yeah, it is sweet, but
Is it a dessert whiskey?
99 proof, dude.
One.
You can't argue with that. Like, I mean, fuck, Wild Turkey is about it.
Yeah. It reminds me of like SoCo or Wild Turkey or
So if
something.
Wild Turkey's a 5, I think this one's 4.
So it's 99 bourbons.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm
Old Scout.
curious, what bottles have y'all like ranked highly,
So the
like based on the shape and whatnot?
what was the one recently where we were like, that bottle is fucking dope? Here, let me look.
Oh, I know like the Slow Ride one, like I'll rank the bottle pretty high on that. Weller, I think, got relatively high bottle review. I don't know. Blake, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, slow
Weller.
and low. Actually, we hated this whiskey. but you can't see it. Yeah,
I kind of did.
We have a picture on our Instagram if you want to check it out. But that Slow and Low, we gave that bottle high marks. It's a really cool bottle.
Larceny, I think we gave the bottle really high marks.
I love Larceny.
Stuff like having text on the back of the label is cool. Having anything special with a cork is cool. And also like if
how
there's
the
like
pours,
how a bottle pours matters, how the bottle pops when you open it matters. If
How
it's
it
got
holds in your hand too.
if it's got like texture to the bottle that you can tell, okay, this bottle's made for this whiskey. It's not just like a generic bottle that we slap a label on, you know? No, this has got the yeah. What were you gonna ask?
I'm curious. This isn't like a high end whiskey. This is like a cheaper, like like $30 range. But have y'all like reviewed Tin Cup at all? Just because like that bottle kind of really sticks out to me, just because of the shape of it.
Something tells me the box is gonna come up with a Tin Cup pretty soon.
Okay,
But no, we've not.
I see.
gotcha. I personally like it, but like I said, it's like a $30 whiskey, so like it's good for the price, I think.
Yeah. There's also points to be had for like iconic bottles. So for instance, like Jack Daniel's, the bottle may not be that like special now, I guess, but because it's such like an iconic label and bottle, like that would get it points as well.
Right.
But I mean, we're kind of just
single barrels are really good. Like the bottles for the single barrels are pretty cool.
We tend to take points away. Again, this whole show is based on like being accessible and being fun. So I don't want to read 9 pages of text on what the bottle, like hints of oak and this cask and, dude, fuck you. Get out of here. Like, it should just say like bottled in Houston, Texas or something like that. And you're like, okay, cool. I get it.
It's whiskey. It's brown.
99 proof. Here's the batch number. That's cool. Dude, batch numbers. That's a good one.
that's points, yeah.
A bunch of
Or
text and
individually
bullshit.
proofed or something like that. That's good points. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of our metrics. It's not like your average person, like not your average whiskey person, but your average person isn't going to hear like, oh, it's got tones of vanilla and a hint of oak here and so on. They're not going to know what the fuck you're talking about. They don't know what that tastes like.
Right.
So we tried to come up with metrics that are pretty straightforward for somebody who's just like going to go buy a bottle of whiskey.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of what we shoot for.
I like
We
that.
also we've done a blind testing before with 5 bottles, and we were just like, hey, this is how we think these metrics line up, even though we can't see them, and this is our favorite, and stacked ranked first to fifth. So we've done shit like that before, and kind of like that's the only time we'll really give like an opinion on, hey, is this a good whiskey or not? Most of the time we try and be like, hey, this is what it tastes like or feels like taking a shot of.
Okay.
Every now and then we'll run into a whiskey that's like not a real whiskey and be like, this is not good.
So that slow and low. That
Yeah.
slow and low is a perfect example. That is not a shooting whiskey. That's not what that whiskey is made to do. Super cool bottle. It's gross to shoot. It might be great if you put it in a glass with some a couple pieces of ice or something like that.
Coke.
Yeah, that one in particular is basically like an old fashioned in a whiskey bottle. So
Gotcha.
it's not made to shoot at all.
Oof.
But anyway, so let's roll right into some more shit.
Okay, what you got?
I'm thinking I was trying to explain to my girlfriend recently about all right, so I'm not gonna lie. There's a new game that there's a game that just came out, Final Fantasy VII, the remake. I'm fucking super excited about it. I've been staying up super late playing it. It's awesome. But anyway, I was talking to my girlfriend and I was like, hey, staying up late kind of has this like nostalgic feeling. I don't know, like it kind of reminds me of being younger, like that those 3-4 o'clock in the morning type nights where it was a lot more common when I was a teenager or something, And I was trying to explain to her like the nostalgia of it, but there were certain parts that I couldn't explain to her, like staying up till 3 in the morning because that's when the Girls Gone Wild commercials come on Comedy Central.
Hell yeah.
But
I remember those days.
there's definitely like I don't know. There's something like I want to say nostalgia, but there's more to it than that. There's something that like triggers when you're awake that long or like up that late. That's just like, oh yeah, like I don't know. It reminds you of either like party nights or like the late night TV you weren't supposed to watch or something. And
Yeah, I feel like you're talking about two different things because I definitely stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, but usually I'm drunk if I get there.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
What I remember from being a kid and staying up that late, it's an entirely different thing. Like when you're stone cold sober and you've been just jamming on Call of Duty for way too long, or Final Fantasy VII, the OG version, dude. I can remember staying up all night playing Final Fantasy VII. You know, so and that's what you're talking about, I think, and. Yeah, a huge part of it is the Girls Gone Wild commercials. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't
a
know.
lot of my time spent from like 3 to 4 a.m. on any given night. Was
Did
on
you
Comedy
guys?
Central.
Okay, so Girls Gone Wild. It's long. It's like a 30-minute. It's like a show. It's not really a commercial. It's like a show, but then it loops and it
one
starts
of those, like infomercials.
But it loops and then starts over again. And dude, it's my first time. It's my first time. I can never forget that. It's ingrained in my head like Old McDonald. Like,
Yeah, dude.
Jeez, we would get into like all sorts of stupid shit trying to like stay up and watch that, or just being like 13 or 14, just anything like that you get your hands on.
do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when Howard Stern was on E,
Yeah.
the Howard Stern show? And you're like, dude, I know.
I don't
there's
remember
gonna
that one.
I know there's going to be some titties.
What I remember is when we first got the TV guide, it was like Channel 7, and it would cycle through and show you everything that was coming up on the next, whatever channels. I remember like staying up, and then at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that, it would start to show up on Comedy Central, 30-minute segment, Girls Gone Wild.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be like, oh yeah, it's happening. I'm staying up till fucking 3 o'clock. It's
Hey, so
going down.
Here's taking it a step further. Did y'all ever get fuzzy channels? Dude.
Skinamax.
Dude, yeah. So
Skinamax, and the audio came through perfectly, which was so, like, at the time it was great, but looking back it was just frustrating. And I also remember like the audio's coming through and like you can't see anything because it's like all zigzaggy and like orange.
Oh, dude, I would fix that. See, that's where my
and I would
touch
catch
would come in.
Something would happen, and it would for a second it would everything would line up, and it'd be like a titty in the top right corner, and you're like, boom, right there. I see it.
Yeah, score. Yeah, man, I'd like adjust the contrast and the sharpness, and I'd get that screen shake on, and it was on, dude.
So, and then the other thing that we're all choosing, I guess, not to acknowledge is you're sitting there at 12 years old, and you've got your friend sleeping over, like your cousin over, and you're both like trying to hide your boners and awkwardly like
watch porn.
Yeah,
what's the etiquette on this? Like, what, is it okay? Like, we just all acknowledge what's going on here. Like, it's like a nude beach, whatever, or like, hey, let's we'll just absorb this in, and then we'll just go like in our separate corners.
I think you watch 3 or 4 cycles of Girls Gone Wild with the little stars on the titties, and then you go get in your sleeping bag. I'm gonna go get in mine.
I'll never forget.
Bring your own sleeping bag to my house next time.
the around this time when like Girls Gone Wild was like a thing with me, like we're like 13 or 14 or whatever, and I remember I had like a sleepover, and one of my friends, I'm going to try to leave out names. He like swiped a porno, like a DVD porno from his dad. That his dad like had hidden, and he brought it. He's like, dude, I got something really good for tonight. I got this porno, and like we're watching it, and he got really grossed out. He says, "Man, my dad watches this," and like it just like was a huge turn off for him. But me and the rest of the guys, and he's like, I'm not, we're like enjoyed it, but whatever. He was like, man, I can't bring this back. Like I'm done with this. So one of my friends took it. And anyways, like a month or so goes by, and I get a phone call from my buddy that took the DVD. He goes, "Hey man, so my parents wanted me to give you a heads up. They found the DVD. Long story short, he left it in like the family room, like in the DVD player."
Yes.
And
I've got that shot in the bag. I've been this guy before.
Yeah, his little brothers.
I'm a little bit older though, so mine was a VHS tape, but something.
And so my parents wanted me to give you like 24 hours to like confess to your parents before they call. Anyways, we go through the whole thing and whatnot. And my friend who actually swiped the movie from his dad, he was like, I was like, well, won't your dad notice that it's gone? He goes, what's my dad going to do? Be like, hey, man, where's my porn? He's not going to do that. Well, that's exactly what he did.
Damn.
He's like, hey, man, did you steal my porn? That's exactly what happened.
He got called on it. Damn, that's rough. Yeah, I got one of my little brothers found it. I left the tape in the VCR. Fucking dumb. And
What do you mean?
one of my little brothers found it, and luckily he didn't play it. He just had it. Like, he took it out and set it on the ground and put a different one in. But dude, Dad pulled me aside and was like, what if you'd have watched that? What if this or that? Like, he gave me the I'm so disappointed in you. And he wasn't mad. He was just like, and then he was like,
that's the worst.
He was like, what else have you got? And dude, I came clean with all. I went and got my box, and I was like, here's my box.
Damn.
But see, back then we didn't have like, that was a novelty. You had to have a VHS or something,
Or a stash of some kind. Yeah,
like, you didn't have internet like that. Like, I mean, Playboy and
I grew up in the golden age, so like by the time.
But see, that's why I feel like Girls Gone Wild was so much more for me, because
I found like porno magazines in the woods, and I was like, oh my God, they're all rain tattered and fucked up, but it was like, yes, and rip a few pages out and stick it in your pocket.
I know so many people that found Playboys in woods. Why is that?
I know I'm responsible for. I know I'm responsible for some of that, because I've definitely hidden Playboys in the woods. Someone found them eventually, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's so awesome.
We just pass them around. Like, one 13-year-old steals them and hides them in the woods. A different 13-year-old finds them, hides them in the woods somewhere else.
This is the Playboy bush.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. So, all right. This might be a little weird, but we're going to go there. Weird. I can remember not finding a Playboy, but I found National Geographics with the African chicks with the ridiculously sagging tits.
Hell yeah.
The real stuff, man.
I mean, that's right up there with the Sears catalog.
Dude, the African chicks got weird because they have like stretched necks, and something about that is like throws you off a little bit.
Yeah.
But you get the South American natives. They're hot. They're like hot little Latinas,
Hell yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm
into stuff.
Maybe that's why I'm into the alternative chicks. I got too many National Geographics with stretched necks, and now I'm into
they've got the big
piercings and
like
tattoos and shit.
Maybe their lips sticking out to here because they got a big ring in their lip.
Hell yeah.
And their neck is stretched.
He was the only dude watching Jurassic Park getting turned on by the long neck reveal.
Hell yeah. Oh, that does it for me.
Oh, so hot.
It can reach the top of the trees. Oh my God.
No, I was thinking, like gauged ears and, a bunch of piercings and shit like that. That's, maybe that's why that's my thing. It's because I had too many National Geographics as a kid.
Damn, dude.
You're just cultured.
Yeah, you're so well studied, Chop. I love your library of National Geographics you have here. I noticed they're all South Asian and African oriented. And about the cultures, indigenous people. What's going on here? You an anthropologist or something?
Like, that can't be any worse than the Sears catalog or something like that, right?
Good housekeeping. Yeah.
Dude, Sears.
Academy works sometimes too. They got good swimsuit stuff.
Sears was. It worked. It worked for years, for generations of people. It worked. But then I feel like, who are the panties? Victoria's Secret. The Victoria's Secret catalog came along and just changed the game, right?
Yeah, they changed it.
Well, not to mention Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Oh, and they even stopped hiding it. They're just like, I guess Playboy doesn't do porn anymore. They're fully clothed, or they're not fully clothed, but they're like, it's like Maxim, like
more modest
side boob and butt maybe, but no. But then Sports Illustrated, they're just straight porn now. I mean, you get they've got their titties out and they just paint their titties. That's it. It's the same shit.
I wonder what like the female equivalent of this is. Like what magazines that girls look look at. Like,
it's the celebrity trash magazines.
Oh, okay. I guess there's that.
They got all the bulges, like in the middle of those magazines. They have the bulges.
The bulge.
Maybe it's just normal Sports Illustrated.
Just flip to the bulge.
Yeah. The bulge is in the middle. It just flips in the middle.
A centerfold of just one bulge.
Yeah. It's even 3D. You just fold out a few pages and put
It's
the little
scratch
piece
and
of
sniff.
yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Oh no!
I want to wish that on anyone. God.
I'm
The
writing that
jockstrap
down.
edition.
Scratch and sniff bulges.
Oh man, oh I fucked up.
All right.
Y'all have me watch Zardos and talk about scratches and bulges.
Okay, so
It's
I
a
got
different kind of show.
Yeah.
I've got a thing. You're sitting in traffic, right? You're stopped at a stoplight. Maybe you're shooting out a few emails, texting on the phone, something like that. And the car next to you starts going backwards, like it starts backing up. Maybe they want to back up to like get in the lane behind you or something like that. Maybe they're in a manual transmission and they just roll a little bit. But there's a second where you're absolutely certain you're about to rear end the car in front of you and you have a mini heart attack. You know what I'm talking about?
For sure.
Oh, yeah, been there.
It happens to me the most often, like if I'm parked and in a parking lot, and then you like sit down and you're like, all right, before I take off, I'm gonna text somebody and tell them I'm on the way, whatever. And then the car next to you starts backing out, and you're like,
Yep.
oh, I'm for sure crashing into the front of the store right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've for sure done that. Like recently. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we're
Shit
oh
my pants every time.
yeah.
Dude, yeah, that's rough. That's right up there with the shady ways to start your day. Like you pull into the Whataburger parking lot, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get some food and head to work, and then the car next to you starts moving, and you're like, I'm crashing into this Whataburger now.
And you slam on the brakes like as hard as you can. And I feel like everybody around you just judges the shit out of you. Like, what the fuck's this guy's problem?
This dude's a
Sorry, I was on my
fucking
phone,
idiot.
not paying attention to shit.
I was being a real motherfucker right now.
Oh, sorry, I was being a motherfucker.
Okay, I got another awkward car moment. So I have a Focus ST, super fun car to drive. It's not a very large car though, right? And it happened in the Mustang too, same thing. Especially it being a manual transmission, I've got my hand right here in the center. Every once in a while, there'll be. I'm not gonna lie, it's a dude when it's the most awkward. That and there's just not that many chicks that ride shotgun in my car. But have you ever touched just arm hair with the dude sitting next to you? You know what I'm talking about? Your arm hair touches the dude next to you.
I usually block those things out of my head, man.
Why is that such a cringy, like, and both of you are like, oh God, like, you have to pretend like it didn't just happen? Why is that so difficult for us to deal with as men?
Dude, I don't like. We were at the park the other day, and there's this guy riding his bike, and he was fucking hairy. It was like like fuzz, almost like insulation style, you know. And I was just like, how do girls even deal with that? You know, how does anybody look at that? They're like, ugh, yeah, it's so gross.
See, but
man.
I'm more talking like if it's one thing if like you bump, like you maybe bump into him at the bar or something. That's not awkward. I'm talking about just the hair touches.
the hairbrush, yeah.
It's like the very subtle touch is like way more awkward than like the brute, just like.
And you're like, okay,
flesh.
either one, we have to pretend like this didn't happen and never speak of it again, or two, we have to suck each other's dicks right now. Like those are the only two options that we can do.
I feel like everybody does that. Like the thing, like you just automatically look like 180. You just do do that. You just look completely opposite directions.
Oh,
and you just go,
So are you like?
Yeah, so like in the instance you're talking about in the car, and like you brush hairs in the middle, and then in both of you immediately put that arm in your lap, and then put the other arm on the window armrest and look out the window.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. You can go 90 miles an hour on a fucking toll road, but you're going to be looking out the side window because that's the
Your
only way.
RPMs are just maxed out. You're like, dude, I'm not fucking touching that stick. I'm looking over here.
Yeah,
I'm not changing gears.
fuck that car in front of us. Don't care.
You ever do that thing where like instead of arms, like you accidentally like hit each other's like knees, like when you're sitting next to each other?
Oh
like, your
yeah.
knees
Oh
touch?
my god,
Yeah.
leg hair is worse. Is it not worse?
Yeah, leg hair is more
'cause
common.
I don't
for me,
have
yes.
too much arm hair, but like my leg hair, it's a whole canopy. Like
Yeah.
it's like insects get stuck in it sometimes.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Have you ever seen that video? I think
bad.
I think it may have been LeBron, but it's two basketball players sitting on a bench, and they go to put like their hands on their knees, and they like one of his hands accidentally sets on the person next to him. So he's like holding their knee, and then they both like realize it and look at each other, and he's just like, "Oh fuck."
I feel like if that shit happened to girls, they don't even acknowledge. Like it's not even funny. That's just like, oh, sorry. Like,
Dude,
it's
they
like
probably
normal.
like it. Oh, when girls do it to girls, yeah.
And dudes, I don't know. I can't deal with it. Like, I'm not emotionally equipped to handle touching arm hair with another dude.
I think you like it, Blake, and you're just not.
No,
you're not warming up to it.
Absolutely not.
Hey, you know, if you like it, there's nothing wrong with that. To me, I'm just like, oh shit, I just invaded your personal space. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm.
Blake's like, can you do it again?
Can you do it again? Can we touch leg hair
you
now?
want me to do whatever.
I'm not sure how I felt about that. Let me feel one more time.
Dude, so you know what? Like, so that reminds me of, like, it feels cringy, right? So, what? I'm trying to think of how to say this. Like, what are those other moments that men just can't handle because it's just like so cringy that you're just like, fuck, I need to not exist in this place anymore.
Okay.
This happens to me when I'm at work, like when I'm at the urinal and like me and another like coworker, we get to the urinal at the same time, and for some reason there's like this tension where like there's like something like it feels like one of us has to like say like hi or something. But
I can.
Like,
you want me to
we're
solve
at the urinal? Like you don't have to say.
You want me to solve all of your problems right now?
Yes.
Here's what you say. You say, I guess this is where all the dicks hang out. Boom. Problem solved.
Yep.
I'm using that next time.
Yep.
I had one guy ask, like, he's just like, so how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing well. You know, I just came here to talk to people as you normally do. So
you just look at him right in the eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what is that next time?
What about watching a movie that's sad, and if you're watching it with another dude, I'm talking like Up, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, why are we not emotionally equipped to handle Up? We're just not. Like,
we're just not. Are y'all familiar with that show, How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah. There's
an episode where Marshall, his dad dies, and me and my roommate, we watched that show together, and like that like really hit my roommate really hard. His dad's alive and everything, but he just has a close relationship. But that like episode hit him really hard. He just like bawled like a baby. He's like, I'm so sorry, I'm crying, man, I'm sorry. And I was like, dude, it's fine. This is a hard episode. And I was like crying because he was like apologizing. I was like, it's fine, stop it. Stop. And I was like,
I'm not crying. You want to fight about it? You want to fight?
Punch me in the face.
I forget what movie it was from, but that there's like the police officer. It's a cartoon movie, and there's a police officer, and he's like, it's almost enough to make a grown man cry, and he like starts shedding one tear, and then he's like, get back in there, tear, and he like snorts the tear back in his eye.
Dude, I'm not. Usually, I don't cry, but I can definitely watch. It happens all the time where I'm watching a movie and I do like the like I have to inhale just to keep the. And it's everything I can do to hold it in because you don't want to cry. And that's silly. Like, dude, just let it out. Who cares?
Yeah, there's some stuff that really gets me. Like, I don't know if you ever watched that Netflix show, Haunting of Hill House. Really good. Highly recommend if y'all haven't seen it, especially if you like horror stuff. But there's a really rough emotional episode about like somebody losing a significant other, and I was just like, oh, this is so hard. But yeah, stuff like that gets me.
Or like the triumph at the end, you know, fucking Airbud sinks a shot or whatever, and you're like, fuck yeah, you know what I'm talking about? That one, yeah, that one almost hits harder than the sad ones.
Dude, I don't know. You brought up something in me when you said Airbud about like Old Yeller.
Yeah, Old Yeller. I mean, you just cry during Old Yeller. There's no shame there.
Yeah, there's no shame in that. You just fucking cry. There's shame if you don't cry during Old Yeller. That's rough shit, dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's one thing if like the love interest dies or something like that, but. I don't know. Even what's I Am Legend? His dog dies in I Am Legend, and you're just like, God damn it,
Samantha.
Fuck.
See, I think that's just fuck this. I'm out. I don't want to watch this shit.
Yeah, especially when they had alternate endings, and that's the one they went with. It's like, come on, you want to do this to me?
Yeah,
this movie's dumb, guys. This movie's dumb. You want to go throw the football or something?
Yeah,
you just gotta like, yeah. Let's go wrestle.
Let's go play Madden and get mad at each other. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, this isn't right. We gotta fix this.
You want to take another shot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
Cheers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Tink.
Cheers.
Y'all tell me about what it is that y'all are drinking. How does it feel?
I was about to say, I feel really sorry for you guys. This shit is fucking delicious.
I'm not
Yeah,
a big
but-
fan of Canadian whiskeys, but I don't know. I guess I'll try it.
This 1792 is really good. It's really smooth.
Yeah, so Pendleton, you may have heard, it's like getting head on top of a pile of Benjamins.
Yeah.
And I'm here to confirm that. It's got like,
Survey says.
honestly,
Did you do you did the analysis? You did the test? Science
for sure.
shit?
And here's where you're not gonna like it, Blake. It doesn't have a whole lot of bite. I'm not gonna lie. Outside of that, though, like it's not really sweet. It's super super smooth, and it tastes awesome.
I don't honestly, and Brucker, just some insight.
Yeah.
We don't when we say it's a 1 to 5, we're not saying this is our favorite. We're saying, okay, the bite on a scale of 1 to 5 is here. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying it's a 3. You know, me personally, I tend to lean a little bit. I like it to bite. I like to know I'm drinking whiskey, especially bourbon. Like I want it to, you know, have a little bit of kick. So I tend to be around the 3.54 mark, and usually stuff that's around the 2 or 3 is not as appealing to me.
Is that out of 5?
Out of 5, yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious. Have y'all had Four Roses before?
We have.
So,
we actually had it on.
Here's a fun fact for you.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and talk for a second.
Okay.
Andy bailed.
Actually,
yeah. What I got is I literally just polished a bottle of Four Roses bourbon.
Oh, sick. So
Like-
wait. So that's like the that's not the single.
No, that's not the small batch. That's the regular Four Barrels bourbon. But I got a bottle of that right before all this social distancing quarantine shit happened. And that's what I've been sipping on. Because I generally drink bourbon. Most of us on the show drink bourbon predominantly. So that was the bourbon that I picked up. Still got a couple others hidden away. But that was the big bottle I bought that was like, all right, this is going to be my sipping whiskey when we do shows or hang out and bullshit with each other over Zoom or whatever.
Mhm.
And I ended up polishing that off last night.
Oh, that's awesome. So the small batch Four Roses. Do y'all think that has a lot of bite to it, or do you think it's kind of smooth? Because I think it has a lot of bite to it, but I don't know if I'm being a wimp or not.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. You know, I drink so much whiskey. I don't.
It all blends together.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I'm trying to remember as well. I know. So the regular, that one that I just finished, it's got some bite to it. Most bourbon has some bite to it.
Mhm.
That's saying usually like bourbon sits about a 3, where most whiskeys like a 2.5.
Yeah.
But I would say that even the regular Four Roses, it's a little bit more, maybe even a 3.5. The small batch, I can't recall off the top of my head. But I do know that I do like Four Roses a lot, and bourbon tends to be our, just general way of being.
Mhm.
But I do also, so me personally, I also like, I do like the smooth whiskeys. It doesn't have to have a lot of bite or crunch for me.
Mhm.
But that's not to say I can't enjoy it either way, I guess.
Right.
We actually, when we did our blind taste testing, we had a bottle it's really interesting to me. It's called Koval, and it didn't fit the profile for the type of whiskey that I am into, but it was really good. It's really smooth. I think we actually ended up placing it second, didn't we, Chop?
Yeah, we did.
Just right underneath Elijah Craig for under $40. If you're into something with a little more kick, a little more bite, if you're into that bourbon, get Elijah Craig. If you tend to lean more towards something a little bit sweeter and smoother, Koval is a fine choice.
Mm-hmm. Koval is like a better sipping whiskey, I think. It is a little bit hard.
Honestly, that's why it didn't make top. It's impeccably crafted. It's a good whiskey. It isn't my style of whiskey.
Right. And we talked about it on that, so I'm not going to go super into it, but that's like a really good sipping whiskey, and it's a really, really good whiskey. It is a little bit pricier just because it's harder to find outside of its home city, which I think is Chicago, if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really, really good. But we ended up picking Elijah Craig, which is actually owned by the same company that makes Evan Williams and a bunch of other shit. So, which I'm going to roll that right into another topic. Heaven Hill owns fucking everything in the liquor industry. It's fucking wild, dude. It blew my goddamn mind how much they own. So Heaven Hill, the way I knew that name is they make really fucking cheap vodka. Like that's what they do.
Turns out they make everything else as well.
Yeah, for sure. So Heaven Hill, the vodka, it's like $10 for a handle. So the big bottle, right? Like a 1.75 liter bottle of Heaven Hill. It's like $11 or something. But it turns out they also own like fucking everything. So I'm going to pull it up real quick, and it is okay, here we go. It's Black Velvet.
Ugh.
Yeah, which is awful. Carolyn's Irish Cream Liquor, Christian Brothers Brandy. They own Deep Eddy Vodka, which is Austin favorite. Elijah Craig Bourbon, Evan Williams, Fighting Cock Bourbon. They own Georgia Moon Corn Whiskey. That's their moonshine whiskey. Henry McKenna Single Barrel. They also do Hypnotic, Larceny.
We've done Henry McKenna. We have done Larceny.
They're kind of all over the board.
Yeah, Luna Zool Tequilas, Mellow Corn Whiskey, Old Fitzgerald.
Oh, that's good.
Shit, trying to Sacred Bond, Two Fingers Tequila. They own fucking everything, dude. So it blew my mind that they own all of these brands when what I know them for is cheap vodka, right?
I think it's just like a conglomerate, right? Like they just buy another distillery and keep pumping it out.
It's a business, right? Yeah,
for sure. But I don't know. It's like that shit when you find out that
Fox
like
owns
DuPont
everything.
owns everything.
Yeah,
yeah.
Disney owns everything.
Like Chrysler is actually like fucking 37 car companies or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of mind blowing.
But I don't know. It tripped me out that. So what I did know, and the whole reason I brought this up, is that Elijah Craig and Evan Williams are like their distilleries are pretty closely related, and Evan Williams is supposed to be like the baseline, and then Elijah Craig is supposed to be like the better version.
Which makes sense why we like that so much.
Why we like it, yeah.
Evan Williams, Brucker, if you don't know, Evan Williams is like our go-to. This is a cheap bottle of whiskey that's, for what you pay for it, it's good to drink. I mean, it's always good.
Yeah, I don't really dabble too much into. I mean, I've had Evan Williams before, but for like, I'm doing like cheap stuff. I might normally be grabbing like Tin Cup or Larceny. It's kind of like my two go-tos.
Oh, see, that's expensive for cheap stuff. we're talking about $20 for a big bottle kind of thing.
Gotcha. I remember when I was in college, we would just get like a big thing of like George Dickel. That's what we would do.
Yeah, Dickel actually. I think that was Blake. Step in on this, but I think Dickel was one of the ones that was a cheap bottle that we rated pretty highly.
George Dickel is like middle shelf. It's not super expensive. It's not a cheap bottle, but yeah, it's good.
I honestly don't remember if I liked it or not.
Yeah, that's
because I had it when I was in college, and we at this point in the night, I don't even know where I was, but we would play this game in our dorms where we would like play like mini golf, and like, so the rules were the loser of the hole had to take a shot, and then the winner got to design what the next hole looked like in our dorms. So that was
that's
and
cool.
Sounds like fun.
All night.
We used to play Chop. Tell them about Russian roulette.
Oh man, yeah, Russian roulette's pretty fucked up. So basically what we did is we would take a cap gun and you play Russian roulette with a cap gun.
The caps that come in the circle, like it's like 6 caps, in a little circle. We would take a pair of scissors and cut one cap out, put it in the cap gun, and literally play Russian roulette.
Yeah, and the person that got shot had to take a shot.
So
it was kind of a fucked up game. It even got to the point.
Would you are you able to like spin like the chamber?
No. So the way we would do it is you spin it. Yeah, you spin the cylinder, and then you close it so you don't know where it is, and then you shoot. And if the cap goes off, you drink. If the cap doesn't go off, then you pass it, and now they have to shoot. And I think there was No, that's what it was. If you shoot and it doesn't go off, then the other person has to drink, something like that.
No, it was just whoever. If we were drinking liquor, it was whoever got the cap had to take a shot. If we were drinking beer, then it was if you didn't get shot, the other person takes a drink, and then when you get shot, you had to chug your beer.
So it ends up becoming a game of like every shot. Obviously, your odds go up, and so you have to choose. Oh no, that's what it was. You choose whether to shoot the person next to you or shoot yourself. That's what it was.
Oh, that's clever. I like that.
So if you shoot the person next to you and it doesn't go off, now you have to drink. If you shoot the person next to you and it does go off, they have to drink.
That's clever. We came up with all sorts of like drinking rules in college. We would
the cap gun got really fucked up because something about even though it's a cap gun, you don't want to point it at yourself. Like that's just weird. So we'd end up just like shooting it into the air or pointing at someone.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to call out Blake because it definitely got to a point where we were like, it's fucking weird holding a gun to your head, no matter even if it is a cap gun. So it definitely got to the point where we were just like, all right, we're going to aim this shit up into the air or, aim it in the general direction of another person.
Aim it over their head.
Yeah. It was a fun game, though.
So
funny.
So we've got our time. Brucker, do you want to talk about a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, just in general, or
in your show. Yeah. Tell us where we can find you.
Yeah. I'm Brucker, and I co-host a movie podcast with a friend of mine named Levi, and our podcast is called Film on the Rocks. It's a movie podcast, and we just like to talk about how much fun movies are. And one of our segments is talking about drinking rules that we come up with for our movies, but we also sprinkle in loads of like trivia and any sort of like behind the scenes stuff that we can find, and we talk about our favorite scenes, and we also debate sequels. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and any other podcasting app that you use, and also feel free to reach out to us on social media. We're on Twitter at Film on the Rocks and on Instagram at Film on the Rocks Podcast.
I actually got an opportunity you invited me on the show, and I had a really good time. We got to talk about American Psycho.
Great conversation. It was awesome.
It was a pleasure.
I'm really looking forward to publishing that.
And thank you for coming on our show and going there with us and talking about scratch and sniff bulges and stuff.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. I got to drink a couple glasses of whiskey and just talk about just shoot the shit. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, it's cool.
Chop, where can they find us?
So we're on YouTube, Google, iTunes, Spotify, and your favorite podcasting apps. You can also find our social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So be sure to hit us up. We got new episodes every week and content all the time, and we'll see you soon.